Hi, this is Matt O'Leary, and if you haven't heard of the band I'm going to review here, your roommate may be Patrick Starr. Yep, this is Currents, the third album in 5 years by the Australian psychedelic rock and pop band Tame Impala. This is the band that has really redefined psychedelia for the millennial generation. I'm not saying that no one else in the past 15 years has used a phaser pedal, but Tame Impala really moved this sound from bedroom rock to mainstream and commercial success. And really in such a short span, only 2 albums in, and this band already had a Grammy nod and some other nominations at other music awards around the world was hooked. There's something so curious and paradoxical about this though. I mean, these stadium-ready pop songs have literally come from one little bedroom in Western Australia. Songs like Feels Like We Only Go Backwards and Elephant, you know, songs just bursting with ostentation and bubbly personality are all coming from the introverted Kevin Parker and his cast of exceptionally awkward interviewees. It's really amazing because Parker has written, mixed, and produced almost every track that the band has released thus far. This gives hope to all the college wallflowers out there. The hope that all it takes to really move people is a dorm room, a MIDI keyboard, and a really cooperative roommate. Oh, and maybe a long and tethered sock to tie around your neck. This is the identity of a rock star in 2015. Not Slash or Jimmy Page, but Kevin Parker. I think it's clear that I adore these guys, and although I really prefer the progressive sounds of the last 2 albums, I think this one definitely delivers in a really unique way. Oh, and the only reason I have Lonerism back here on display is because I haven't received my precious vinyl copy of Currents yet, which hopefully will arrive on release date July 17th. There's an unexpected lack of guitars across Currents as the band focused more on this Bee Gees-inspired electropop sound. Like a lot of the songs on Lonerism though, these songs are really built for the chorus. If the chorus doesn't deliver a huge payoff, it's really tough to get into these songs. For me, this occurs on tracks like The Moment and Love/Paranoia. The combination of overly simplistic progressions and a general lack of diversity make these and the filler tracks like Nangs and Gossip get a little stale after repeated listens. I think Kevin and the band were really trying to make this album flow more cohesively together into one lazy and hazy and trippy vibe, but this is probably not how I'll personally choose to enjoy the album down the line, just because the consistent disco beat throughout the entire album gets a little old for me. Also, the low robot spoken word voice in Past Life ruins any flow that this band tries to uphold. Instead, I'll probably go back to the brilliance of individual gems, of which there is no shortage. I absolutely love the opener Let It Happen. I think it really sets the pace thematically and rhythmically. I think this song really represents a release and letting down of reservations, both as the most obvious pop the band has ever produced and in the crystal clear lyrical message. Parker in his signature floaty, verging on falsetto high range croons, "I heard about a whirlwind that's coming round, it's gonna carry off all that isn't bound, and when it happens, I'm going to be holding on, so let it happen." In addition to the A-B sections of the song, we get a drawn-out club beat jam sesh with a vast array of flawless synth tones. Every single riff here is a complete home run, and the way the bass and drums fall into that chorus is just magical. This is definitely one of my songs of the year. Yes, I'm Changing is another standout for me, definitely the most beautiful song on Currents. You'll get lost in the celestial synths and ethereal vocals as Parker delivers his most convincing lyrical performance on the album. I really like the subtleties on this song, like the bass, how it changes gears just ever so slightly on the last verse when there's that really moody chord change. He just does something slightly different the last time, and I just think it's one of the best instrumental composition moments. Eventually was the most monumental song live when I saw them in Minneapolis in May. The bass drop on the chorus was gigantic, and honestly, it almost knocked the wind out of me. These drops and really slight pauses are really something the band excels at on their previous albums, but especially here on Currents, just to punctuate and really give that oomph to the chorus. I love how they repeat the chorus into a fade out at the end of Eventually that never gets old. And the word itself eventually works simultaneously as a relieving arrival point and a perfect summary of the unknown and the unpredictability of the future. This is really where Kevin Parker's genius is, in my opinion. This album really ups the tempo with songs like The Less I Know The Better, Reality in Motion, and Disciples. That last one being a perfect example of how one little tiny idea can be used so effectively in the context of an album. The verse on Disciples is seriously the catchiest thing, and it's brilliant how these 4 chords repeat throughout the entire song. 'Cause I'm a Man is the last song I want to mention, and probably the most divisive among fans. A lot of fans are writing this song off as paper-thin pop garbage. I would totally agree if I didn't think it was executed so perfectly. Everything about this vocal screams Michael Jackson, and if you close your eyes and imagine it's him, you might just believe it. Kevin said he did about 1,000 vocal takes just to get this song exactly how he wanted it, and I have to say, it paid off. It just gives me goosebumps every time I hear it, especially those verse runs that sound a lot like Unknown Mortal Orchestra's Ruben Nielsen. That verse melody makes me want to pour pure maple syrup on my head and ascend into the heavens. Whatever that means for you. That's all I'm going to say about this album, although I could talk much longer about it. Buy this thing yourself and enjoy the best pop music you've heard in years. I'm going to give Currents by Tame Impala an 8.5 out of 10. The only reason I'm not going higher is, again, because the album as a whole didn't really flow and go together. For me, I'm probably just going to go back to how many great individual tracks there are on this album. So yeah, 8.5. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more reviews and all sorts of music news. And please comment with your response to my question below. The question is, do you think the release of so many singles so early on in the process of marketing this album ruined the album a little bit for you? I feel like for me, it kind of did, just because I feel like if I would have heard this thing without hearing those 4 great singles ahead of time, I really would have thought a lot higher of the album, you know, even more than I do now. So let me know if you think that, if you have any other opinions about how bands should market their albums, whether or not they should release these songs so far in advance to kind of, you know, get the hype going, or wait and just release it all at once. Yeah, that's it. Thank you again. Oh, and I'm going to include another sneak peek of a song from my upcoming album, From an Orchard of Flame, right at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that, and watch the one in the last video that I made as well. Suddenly your presence coming